Hello, welcome to my video. Let's talk a little bit about completing the square. Completing the square, it means that it's a form of factoring. Let me begin by showing you an example on this problem here. We have x squared plus 6x plus 5. I forgot to write that equals 0 earlier. But, so let me rewrite it so we can have the same color. We have x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, so you begin by isolating the variables and the constants. Keep one on one side. So let's go ahead and leave this alone. But if we subtract 5 from both sides, like subtract 5 from there and subtract 5 from this side, and now we have x squared plus 6x equals negative 5. Okay, and when you complete the square, you take half of this number, using the coefficient, using the coefficient of the variable with a power of 1. Half of 6 would be 3. So, or you could just put 6 over 2, because that means that you took half. And make sure that you add it and that you square it. And then you do the same to the other side also. And you add half of 6 and square it. Now you're ready to factor out the equation easy. Let's just do this math. You always do what's inside the parentheses first. So let's go ahead and just copy down x squared plus 6x plus, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. We keep our exponent, and then we're left with negative 5 plus half of 6 is 3, and we keep our exponent. And one more step, 3 squared is 9. That means 3 times 3, so we're left with x squared plus 6x. Actually, I'm not gonna multiply it out. I'm just gonna copy. I'm gonna leave this one like that, and the other one I am gonna multiply out. And the reason for this is because it makes it easy to factor. But this other one we can put minus 5 plus 9, since there's nothing to factor on that side. And you always put parentheses because it means you're gonna multiply the binomials. So what gives you x squared? X times x. What gives you 3 squared? 3 times 3. What gives you a positive 6 in the middle? So just put positives. Okay, we're done with this side. Let's go ahead and do the next side. Minus 5 plus 4. Minus 5 plus 9, I mean, is 4. So now we're left with x plus 3. And since there's 2 of them, you could do quantity squared is equal to 4. And then the next step you do is it's this weird step. Take a look at it. You're gonna, when you take off this square, you're gonna do this. Look, x plus 3, and the other side becomes plus or minus the square root of 4. That's a weird step. You get the plus or minus operator. Basically, it's a shorthand notation for saying that you have a positive version of this square root of 4 and a negative notation. Let's go ahead and I hate doing this, but let's go ahead and continue it here. Let me get a new pen. How about a green pen? And we'll continue it here. We have x plus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 4. And then we have x plus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 4 is 2. So now we have we're almost done solving for x. We have this number by itself, so subtract 3 from this side and subtract this from this side. And you're left with x equals your plus or minus 2 minus 3. This plus or minus means that there are two values for x, one using the positive and one using the negative. So we'll call this x1, or let's call this x with a positive and x with a negative. So now you get the positive 2 because of the positive, and the other one just has 1 minus 3. And the other one is a negative. So you have minus 2 minus 3. And plus 2 minus 3 equals negative 1. Minus 2 minus 3 equals negative 5. So you just solved the equation by completing the square. So basically x equals, you can write this fancy notation, negative 1 comma negative 5. And those are your two solutions.